Woof Woof Special Mince Past. WOOF Woof Power Special Mince Past. This chapter is a musical by two Disney songs because we thought was cool, but I changed the lyrics. Pulls don't take it seriously, it's a joke, but Mint News Past is not LOL okay. April 22nd, 1957. 𝚞𝚎 damp green grass felt good under New's feet. BTW, this chapter contains spoilers for the Nebex chaps that haven't been written for Woof Woof Power. New's blue gear shined and glistened in the sunlight. She looked at her Vietnamese village and smiled. Everything was in devastation, but she still had her family. "New, new!" cried her younger brother as he toddled over to her, waving his arms like a chicken. Look ridiculous," New laughed. "You look like a chicken," and they both laughed. "Don't remind me," said her brother, whose name was. "I haven't had chicken in ages." "I know," New smiled sadly. "The war has been hard on our village." New was 9 and her younger brother 45. His 6th birthday was going to be in a few days. "Mother wants us to come inside," said her younger brother. "Okay," New smiled and started to walk, but she stopped when she stopped to hear. "What is it?" asked brother. "Do you smell that?" she asked. Her brother asked. "Smell what? I don't smell anything at all. What are you smelling?" he asked. "It's gunpowder," cried New. "We have to run home." So they ran home through the Vietnamese jungle. When they came to their village, they saw gunpowder and smoke and fire of bad. Oh no, this can't be true," thought New. She ran toward the building. "Stay where you are, little brother." "Okay," said little brother. Mint ran to the flaming house. Her parents was in there. She smashed the sewer with a pot, but it wouldn't budge. She could hear the screams of her dying family. The village was hectic, and running around, she could hear the villagers scream amongst the flames. The village was on fire and livered, and "The Americans are attacking," screamed the village elder. "Sing to Hellfire from Hunchback of Notre Dame." The village elder sang.
"Beta Mario, I am certainly a man. I lead my people with justice true. Better Maria, you know him so much to stuff that you would do too. So tell me, Mario, why I see them standing there, why their homes are beefed down to ash. I see them, I feel them, the sun coughed in the raven hair is burning in me out of all control. It's fire, hellfire. This fire's on my skin. It's burning like fire. It will leave us nothing.
New sang.
"It's not your fault. You're not to blame. It's the Americans that did it all the same. It's not your flat. It's America."
The elder sang.
Protect us, Maria. Don't let the Americans burn our town. Protect my people if their flesh and blood. Destroy America and let them taste the fires of hell and let them just leave us all alone.
And he stopped singing. "Somebody help my family," screamed New. "My parents are in there." A man walked by, but she was shot in the head and fell dead in front of New. New was shocked and shocked. The blood landed on her face. She couldn't move for a zero meant, but she realized there was gunfire and people were dropping like dead flies or dead people. "Oh my God," she whispers. It started to rain, but the water did little to stipple the flames of hate. I, she sputtered. She felt a tug on her arm, and she almost screamed, but it was just her little brother. Sister, sister, we have to hurry, he said, clutching her. Mint couldn't move. She was too scared. A gun zoomed by her head. She screamed and ducked, and the two siblings crawled through the mud and water and the blood through the flaming village to get away. It took some time, seemingly forever, but they got through the jungle and the muddy blood water to a hill that overlooks their village. Mint sighed and said, "Our family, our friends and homes and bonds are dead." "Wish for reverse," whispered her brother. Then noon passed out from agony. She awoke. She didn't know when, but it was later. She woke to wet nose licking her face. "It is dog," said little brother. Get away, we don't have anything," said Mint to protect her brother, but the dog looked playful. When the dog barky, it was when she remembered the fate of her village. "We must go look for survivors," she said hopefully. The two walked through jungle to 𝚜𝚎 village with the dog 𝚜𝚎𝚒𝚎's new dog friend. The village was burned to a crisp and toasty, and no one was alive. "What will we do?" whispered little brother. "Americans," growled New. "I hate America. I hate war. I hate dog," and she kicked the dog. The dog yelped and cowered, but little bro protected it and said, "Big sister, what art you doing? You should not hurt innocent." "I'm sorry," New said. "You were right." And she got to her lap and she started to cry. "Our parents are dead. I don't know what to do. What should we do? I don't know. Everyone's dead." The dog barked and little brother hugged his sister. "As long as we are together, right?" "Yes," said New, but it was a quiet moment while she thought. "We cannot stay here with the coal and death. We must go to a new village away from America. We salvage any food and—" So the two started to look for anything they could take on their perilous journey to come. 3 days later, the children were in the big city of Golden Light, which was located 300 miles from their village. They power walked and got ride from passerbys. Anne made it with, but they were starving, so New worked at a noodle shop to help feed her and her brother. Little brother he was upstairs in the small room they were staying at. New with noodles to bring to customers when she heard a fat man speaking talk. "I heard," he said. "Americans were coming through here," he said, laughing and drinking his alcohol. "Serve me, wench. Come here." New had to come over and give him noodle. Her hair was up in tight coiled buns, which signified she was a servant girl. "Here it is. Can I get other thing for you?" "Yes, I want more alcohol. And how much money are you making here? I could give you a lot more money," he burped. Minty frowned and said, "I am not working for money. I am working for food and lodging and for me and my little brother. We are homeless." "Well, I can give you more than that." And Minnie T crossed her arms and said, "No, thank you. I am content where I am." And she crossed her arms and went back to the kitchen. Mr. Manager walked up to Mew and said, "Nagoo, what does that customer wants?" Mew frowned and looked away because was not patiently going to not tell the truth. "He wants more beer," she whispered. "Ah," said Mr. Manager. Went to speak to drunken customer and Mint went to clean his kitchen. Co New was cleaning and scrubbing the poet when her companion Ling queued up. Ling was a girl around her age. She had long purple hair in braids, and she cleaned the kitchen with Mint. "Hello," New said, smiling to Ling. Ling smiled back and handed her a dish. "You dry while I wash." "I don't like drying, haha," said New. Ling said, "I don't like the drying either." New said, "Let's rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to dry and who gets to wash." "Okay," soughed Ling. They both put their hands down. Nu did paper and Ling did paper too, so they went again. Rematch, said Ling. Okay, said Nu. So they did rematch. Nu lost. Nu did paper and Nu did rock. Dang it, said Nu. Ha-ha, said Ling. Mint said best 2 out of 3. Okay, said Ling. So they did again. Nu got rock and Ling got paper. So I get to wash after all, said Ling. Fine, said Nagu, so they got to do the dishes. So what is going on out today, said Ling. Nu started to dry the dish. Nothing, there's this weird guy out there, Nu whispered. Ling said, we get lots of weird guys. He offered me a new job, one that pats better, said Moo. Ling looked shocked. Are you, going to leave? We are such good friends. Nu stacked the dishes. No, I liked it here, and my brother is secure here. Plus that Manan is shady and has a mustache. Ling laughed. What does mustache have to do with it? America has mustache, said Nu. Ling sighed. Well, at least you're statting here. We can be friends forever. Mr. Manager came in but didn't say anything. He looked at Nu and walked by and said, we're closing early tonight, girls. So the girls fixed and cleaned and got things ready. That night, Nu and Ling were in Ling's bedroom weaving friendship bracelets out of fine thread. The oe Nu made for Ling was green and gold, and the one that Ling made for Nu was blue and silver. They extravaganza them and spoke about everything they planned to do in the future. Ling grinned and said, when the war is over, I will have lots of money, and I will open my own noodle shop. Nu laughed. And I will be your main hostess. Ling grinned and pulled Nu to her feet. No, you will be my business partner. The two hugged and fell asleep until the dog named Salt came and licked awake. They laughed into the night, and Salt was pregnant. Ling said, do you want to see something special? Okay, said Nu, and the two girls looped together the sheets and went out window to floor to get special. Nu was nervous. Should we be wandering away from the shop? She was nervous for her little brother, but Ling tugged and said, I do this all the time. She led Nu through 𝚘𝚎𝚒 city toward the edge where there was big trees and lake and 𝚘𝚎𝚒𝚒𝚘𝚎. They got into glittery rivers, and Nu was like, what is it? And Ling was like, shh, let's just watch. It was a moment, but when the moon was shown through the musky clouds, flighting away through the sky, something in the lake glittered. Nu gasped. Beautiful, she whispered. There were shining koi fish swimming glittery in the pool. Tairy beautiful, said Mint. And Ling smiled. Yes, I come here whenever I feel sad. It's my secret place, Nu smiled. Perhaps things were going to look up for her. The next morning, they opened the shop early. Nu was sweeping off the porch when she heard somebody walking up behind her. She turned and said, welcome to the... But she stopped when she saw who it was. It was Mustache Man. She frowned but finished her sentence. Noodle shop. The man grinned at her lecherously and said, can I walk to Mr. Manager? Nu was happy to leave him out, so she said yes, and went quickly inside to fetch Mr. Manager. Mr. Manager? Nu said. Yes, Nu, said Mr. Manager. Told Mr. Manager about Mustache Man, and Mr. Manager went out to go speak to Mustache Man. Nu nervously set up the rest of the tables, and went upstairs to check on her little brother, who was still sleeping, and sneak him noodle. Ling was out getting fish at the market. When Nu went back downstairs, Mr. Manager was speaking to Mustache Man. Should I pour tea? Asked Nu. Nu, we have important, said Mr. Manager. What is it, Mr. Manager? Asked Nu to Mr. Manager. Mr. Manager looked old and frowned sad. I sold you. What? Said Nu. You and brother will be happier. He can help you more than I can. I happy here, said Nu. Mr. Manager sad said, I'm sorry, but I just can't afford to keep you with the war. Me and all I need to help with 𝚤. Nu cried and ran upstairs. Pack your things, said Mr. Manager. Nu begged, can I please at least wait to say goodbye to 𝚤? Okay, said Mr. Nanager. Make it snappy, said Mustache Man. 𝚤 walked up and said, Hi, Nu. Say it isn't so. I'm sorry I have to go, said Nu. Will I see you again? Asked 𝚤. Nu didn't know. Sure I will, said 𝚤, and the girls hugged. 𝚤 looked at her friendship blanket. I will always look at this and remember you. Me too, said Mint, touching her own bracket. Brother and held his hand, and they walked, and she tried not to look to crying, and because 𝚤 was crying, and her got into carriage with Mr. Mustache and little brother, and they started to ride as way. Nu silently prayed that one day she would meet up with 𝚤 again, her best friend. Sung to God Help Us Outcast by Hunchback of Notre Dame. 𝚤 said,
I don't know if you can hear me, or if you're out there. I don't know if you will listen to a poor girl's prayer. Yes, I know I'm just a servant. I shouldn't speak with you. And can't still I think of you and wonder, do you know what it's like to be missed too? God help Vietnam, hungry from war. Show them your mercy, they don't fight on war. Please help my friend, I miss her so much. Please help the world and keep us in touch.
Mr. Mustache sang,
I ask for girls. I ask for cash. Ask for glory to shine on mine has me. Oh, ask for things I can possess. I ask for God in America to bless me.
Nu sang,
I ask for nothing, I can do fine.
𝚤 said,
But I know so many who can find the time. Please help my people, the poor and unclothed. I thought we all were the children of God.
𝚤 sang,
God help the outcast.
and Mr. Manager, get back to work. Nu sang,
God help the outcast, children of God.
When 𝚘𝚎 got to the place where Mr. Mustache took them, it was a large traditional Korean building. Mr. Mustache let them off and said, This is your new home. Boy, you go in back with Mia. A servant girl took Nu's brother back. Nu wanted to cry, but she stayed quiet. He will be fine, said Mr. Mustache. He will earn to be good strong boy. You, on other hand, will work inside. I will show. Yes, sir, said Nu. You will call me Master Khan, said Mr. Mustache. Yes, sir, she whispered. Now come inside, I will show your duties. The two went insipid. In the building was big. She took to her and was shown many places. There were hot springs for everyone and hotel room massages and a buffet. Fancy restaurant with top chef America. Wow, this is fancy place, whispered New. Mr. Mustache grinned. This is the Golden Palace of Golden City. I own this. You will be good servant girl for higher quarters and more wealthy guest. New looked at her feet and folded her hands. Yes, Lord Khan, she said. She had to be good for her brother's sake. The Golden Palace was the nicest place and seemed to not be affected by the war-torn land of war. People seemed happy and merry and eating and bathing and good time. New spent the next few weeks working there as servant girl. She did not sew her brother often. She cleaned the floor every day and wiped thousands of windows at first. She was tripped when cleaned floor. She cleaned the bathhouses and helped old people bathe. And when at night dinner time, she would help clean and cook the kitchen. She slept on a mat in a room with other servants, and did not get much time alone. One day it was raining, and she was sweeping the porch, and a young handsome man whose name was Haku came up. New blushed. Hi, Haku, she said. Haku looked upset. What's wrong? New asked. Your brother is sick, said Haku. You should go see him. Haku was the nephew of Mr. Mustache, so authority. And mustache but no mustache. New gasped. He's sick? She asked, sad shocked. Yes, he's been sick since he came here, said Haku, and getting worse. I need to see him, said New. Okay, said Haku. And they went to her brother. Haku led the way, for he knew the way. They went to other servant areas where New's brother was being kept. He was on a bed and coughing weakly. Dog was there too. No, said New. Yes, said Haku. You can come to visit him, but for now he's not working. He's just walking and lying down. I have to ask Master Khan if I can take him to the hospital, said New. My uncle has physician, said Haku. Besides, you know money. New wanted to cry. I will make a deal, and she left the room. That night, New was cleaning her room of the servants. She folded the last futon out, and everything was ready for them to sleep. So she slipped out of the room and feet and went to a kitchen. Then she went to the hot springs and sat down next to the empty bath. She couldn't fill the water up, she was not allowed, but she liked the warm feeling of the room. It was an open room, so there were bushes and trees and grass. And wooden fence. She looked at the flowers, which were in a bed by the hoslin. She picked a flower and started to weave the flower into a baby chain. Beauteous, she self and put it on her head. Yes, it is, said a voice. Mint turned around. There was a man she had never seen before. He looked to be almost 20 maybe, and had black hair and golden eyes like gold. Mint was startled. I'm sorry, sir, the bathhouse is closed. The man stepped forward. I know I am a guest here. It is honor here. New was nervous. I should go. I am servant and need to get back to work. I want you to be assigned to my room to be my servant, he said. New was startled. I don't work in the hotel, she said. The man grinned. But I think you would be good. I just need someone to clean my room and serve me tea, and you are beautiful. New blushed. I have to go. And she started to walk, but the man reached out and put his hand on shoulder. She stiffened. What is your name? He demanded. Ling, New lied. I will see you soon then, Ling. And he left. New rushed away and ran into Haku in the hallway. She started to run, wanted to burst out her crying, 'cause she was so stressed, but just hugged him instead. What is wrong? Asked Haku, but he hugged her back. I don't want to work in the hotel, she said. Okay, said Haku. So Sugi went to bed. The sun glittered against the window pane. It had been 3 days since. New was in the kitchen cleaning up stuff and setting ancient Chinese bowls to the side for the big banquet that was going to be happening at the Golden Palace. Master Khan said that she would be a servant girl for the higher-up guests, but she had to prepare the fine dishes that they would be dining on. It was china. The dishes were made of stone and gold white mint, and she had her hair up in buns because she's servant. She wore traditional 𝚘𝚘𝚒𝚘𝚕 clothes, which was a pale salmon color, with a red sash around waist. The pants were folded to her mid-leg calf, and her hair was in a ponytail. She walked out of the kitchen carrying a stack of expensive dishes. Haku walked up beside her. "Do you need help?" he asked. "No, thank you," said Nu. "How is my brother doing?" The two stepped into an elevator. Lifted by the elevator, started to ride up and go to the top floor where the banquet was going to happen for the rich people and Mr. Mustache. "You work hard," said Haku. Haku was blonde and looked like Itachi, but blue eyes and blonde hair and white shirt with blue puff pants and sandals. He was handsome and cool, and knew Chinese and smart. Yes. Nu liked him because was nice and told things that reminded her of someone she hadn't met yet. When they got to the bottom floor, they stepped out of the elevator. "Here we are," said Haku as servant of other held the door open for them. "Thank you for escorting me," said Nu, was she as held the plates in her hand. Haku said, "Okay." Nu said, "Lise, go check on my brother," and Haku said, "Okay," and left. Nu went in and saw the view from the top floor. It was breathtaking. You could see the whole city and the big mountain in the distance where near her home village used to be for her Fire of America. Nu sighed and started to set the plates on the table. It took a long time because there was going to be 400 guests on the top floor. Nu was in charge of onbi of the more higher up private rooms, which was located lower floor in private part. She went that in the room 𝚘𝚎𝚒, the private room, would be for Mr. Mustache and esteemed guests, and set the cups. But out of curiosity, Nu looked at all the plates her hat had been set. She had been secretly practicing how to read during her stay at Golden Palace. She saw a name tag, and she read 5 of them, but 2 names she did not recognize. There was Lady Unagi and Lord Uzumaki. There was Sir Chiaotzu and Lord Oishi. There was Lady Mystery. The others had been guests previously in the building. Lady Mister was not. Then it started to rain, so Nu left her room. She went out on the balcony to bring in the clothes so they were not getting wet on the balcony. It was high up. "Don't fall." She looked and it went back down the stairs and decided to take her free time now to visit her brother. When she went to her room with her brother, he was wheezing and still asleep. He was coughing and wheezing, and Nu peeked through the door and saw her sleeping brother. He opened eyes and saw her seeking. "I'm sorry, brother, I didn't mean to peek at you," said Nu. "It's okay," said brother. He sat up and smiled. "Are you feeling better?" "No," he coughed, and blood was to her hair. The next day was the banquet. Everyone was there and it was busy. Nu was working upstairs and she was wearing her special servant dress. It was blue and black and had a Chinese dragon on it, and her hair was in buns with ribbon, but she was servant and she brought tea to the bustling room. Her feet she wore no shoes, inside servants were not supposed to. She put the tea on the table and started to pour it for the guests who were laughing. She had on toe socks and apron. The guests were getting drunk. She served them also the dinner with dinner. There was one guest who she knew to be Lord Uzumaki, and she gasped and almost dropped them when she saw he was the man she had brought into the previous nights at the hot springs. Sung to Reflection by Mulan. Nu was sitting in front mirror that night, wondering who she was. She sang,
"Look at me. You may think you see who I really am, but you do not see me every day. It's as if I play in a play, taking a role call. Now I see. If I wear a mask, I can fool the world. but my heart is not fooled. Who is that girl I see yachting there looking at me? Will I know who is she? She is me. Why does my reflection not tell me who I am? What meant to be deep inside? Why do you always my reflection show I am not?
Then she sang,
in a world where I have to hide my heat and what I believe in, but somehow QW, I will show you who I am to the world, yes.
Then suddenly Haku came
And
up.
be loved for who I am.
He sang.
But
He continued.
who is a boy I see staring there, looking at me? When will my reflection be honestly who I breathe me? My star pretending not. Would you where I really am for eternity? When will I show my reflection to the world? There's a heart that must be too honest, free to fly honestly. That I burn to know the truth in the reason why must we all conceal how we feel and how we feel? Must there I not show the world who I will not hide?
Then they both sang together.
I will pretend as I someone else for all to. When will my reflection show who I am inside? When will my reflection show who I am inside?
Nu walked away over to her room. Thank you. She need Ed to go back to place and serve others soon. Party was coming soon, it's party time. She poured the tea and Lady Mystery asked, could you get me some tea? And Nu said, sure, and walked away to get tea, but thought, what kind of tea? But it was mystery. It was smelled good and happy, and Nu Mint felt better about the situation. Maybe every be okay, she thought, and it was true. She dawed good things to help the thing, help the party go by fast, and every boy was happy. It was loud and rambunctious and drunk. Lord Uzumaki was eyeing Nu from across the Soom. He was bad intent maybe, so she went but into the kitchen. It was kitchen and cleaned, but not so much today because lump W. Party was going on today. The festivities were dying down. It was around 1 a.m. and Nu was exhausted from serving. Haku and tired. Haku came up and said, are you sleepy? Do you need break? And she said, I'm okay. And it was true because she was resilient and fine. Haku, however, did believe, and she would be okay and said, I think you need break. Are you sure? Nu looked tired and said, yes, I try my hardest fine, but I will take break and be okay. So she sat down to her break and pour herself some tea. Haku drank tea too as well. Thank you for break, she whispered happy. No prob, said Haku. She enjoyed spending time with each. Haku handed her tea and then a dumpling. Eat up. My mom used to make dumplings like this, she said and cried. Where is your mom now? Asked Nu. She's upstairs, he said. That's good, said Nu and ate the dumpling and was content. I get along with her, said Haku. Am glad, said Nu. She frowned and remembered her mother. I remember my mother, she said. We used to play be used to be used. That sounds fun, said Haku. She smiled. Yes, it was. Haku leaned forward and brushed his hair through her hand. Nu blushed. You work hard, he said. Nu blushed and smiled because of close. It was then that. It was tender moment. Haku leaned forward. Nu felt her heart race. He pressed his lips against hers, and she melted. She had to get back to work, so she sighed. I have to get back to work. And okay, said Haku. I will see you soon, he smiled, asked her. And she was happy, and I hope so, she said, smile too. She was so joy and good. But she forgot her brother was sick for a moment, and had to good times with happy people, and went back to the party. Meanwhile, at the party, Master Khan was speaking with mysterious man who had spoken with to speak to her sooner. I am interested in that girl, said man. Nu she is my best servant, said Master Mr. Mustache. I will pay big money for her. I want her to be my bride, said Meister Man. How much are we talking? Said Mr. Mustache, and he stroked his mustache menacingly. Finally, I ran into this Pokemon, LOL, LMO, playing Pokemon while riding extravaganza. Well, we are going to Membrane with her is my plan, said Mystery Man. Okay, I can fluctuate my plan with her, he said. It was true and possible to convince Mr. Mustache. I will speak to you about the selling of her to the party, said Mr. Mustache. All right, grinned Mr. Uzumaki. He laughed evilly. Soughed Mr. Mustache. Sung to Hellfire from Notre Dame. I know I'm using it twice, but I like this song, LOL. Lord Uzumaki the man walked away to sing song to himself.
Oh, Lord Ko, you know I am a regular customer of my mommy. I am vastly rich. Oh, Mr. Mustache, you know we aim so much better than any other ATO you could give her. So tell me, Mustache, why I only see her eyes, why they stare at me down to my soul. I see her, I need her, the sign called it her raven. It's blazing in me out of all control. Like fire, hellfire, there's passion in my bones. This burning desire is turning me to stone. Is in her voice. It's in my plan. I will not rest until I have got her hand. It's in her eyes. She's beautiful. God made her better than every other woman. So tell me, Musashi, why won't you give her to me? Why must you make me suffer like this? Forgive me, new oil, make you taste ye the farce of hell, and then shall be by them mine alone.
Mr. Mustache frowned and said, okay, I will do it for a lot of money, just relax. And Uzumaki sang,
Hellfire, dog fire, now Mustache, it's your turn. Choose me, or I'll kill you. She'll be mine, or you will die.
Mr. Mustache and him decided on a price. Uzumaki thought Mr. Mustache he was in relationship with Nu, and he did not like anyone else touching his Nu, or even looing at his Nu, 'cause Nu was his and his alone. So when he got contract from Mustache, he took it and said, "Now New is mine to be my bride," and laughed. Mr. Mustache was sad to see New go, but at least she wouldn't be work hard as any more. Uzumaki laughed. In the middle of that night, the party and died down, and everyone went home. Who had cleaned up and went to bed. Mr. Mustache did too, and Haku. Uzumaki was not in bed. He was up late, and he was thinking about New. He walked the hallways and knew what he must do. He wore black to cover his face. Has mad and had knife ready. That stuck through the hotel. He did not listen to my threats. He walked to Mr. Mustache's mustache room. He was sleeping like a baby. His fat stomach was fat poking out of blankets, and he snores. Uzumaki snuck up to him, and that was when he snuck up to him. Here was nobody to hear the sounds of his not scream. He was silent when he died. Knife penetrate easy and died fast, and blood came out like blood ribbons. "I have done it," said Uzumaki. The next morning, everyone was in rush and did not knew what happened. New get breakfast dumpling and asked, "What's happening, Ming?" Ming stewed beside her hands on her hips. "Somebody has killed Lord Khan," said Ming. "Oh no," said New. Gasped. "Really?" "Yes," said Ming. "What is going to happen to us?" asked New. "You have been sold," said Ming. "Oh no," said New. She knew who she had been sold to. It must be that man who was bothering when she was sitting by the hoslin and plants. "Yes, it is me," he said. "Come with me." "Well, let the police settle this. I don't want you to look at this horror." "Okay," New said, sad. So they left. New was taken away to live in his castle. She did not know what she was to be doing soon, so she went. Brother was there too with dog. The next morning, it was New's brother's birthday. She had knitted him a knit, and was going to give it to him for his birthday, and made knit for dog too. But brother was still sick. "Happy birthday, brother," she said gently. Brother coughed and said, "Thank you, sister," but voice he was weak. He needed his rest, so she left. It was her wedding day soon. She made breakfast for her fiancé. It was 2 eggs and bacon. She had not eaten in a long time. They did not feed her well at Golden Palace. But her fiancé said that she could eat with her, so they had breakfast together, and it was awkward and she was quiet. "I'm sorry you must be sad about Master Khan," said Mr. Uzumaki. "He was kind to my brother, but these things happen," said New sad. "They said war terrorists from America came and slit his throat," said Uzu. "Oh, I'm sorry, this is inappropriate conversation for a lady." "That's okay," said New. She missed Haku. "You need to get fitted for your wedding cloak," said Uzumaki. "Okay," said New. She did not want you to get married, she was only young. "You are very beautiful," said, and New was taken to wedding clothes area. "We fought it like this," said Sewer. "Thank you," safe New, and she foughted faux clothes, which looked nice. It was long, beautiful wedding dress. It was white and strapless, and had long black end and blue. There was veil over back of her head with roses on top and Chinese diamonds and blue rubies embroidered into the dress. Her shoes was hidden under the dress, but were high-heel sandals, and she had gloves and hair down, and makeup done to match her sandals. It was beautiful and long hair. But New felt revolted. She did not want to marry this man. She did not love him. Her mom always told her to love him. Her bouquet was big blue rose. She smelled like flowers and posies and was clean. Nails done too. She took a shower. She went to the wedding room. It was wedding room big and fabulous. Outside it began to storm with dark and stormy anger. She could see the wind and the rain outside. It was big contrast to the beautiful gold and red decorations for the wedding inside. Nu sighed. She wishes she did not have to do this. She just wanted to work and help support her brother, but if the 𝚤𝚘𝚎 was going to help, she had no choice besides Mr. Mustache as dead. Her family was gone and brother was suck. She sighed. She had always wished her 𝚘𝚘𝚎 would walk her down aisle, but she did not cry. She had to be strong. If she could tried, her brother would cry. She knew she had to be on top of his side. This way her new husband would pull to support her and her brother, and good times would soon to happen follow them. She walked down the aisle, and music started to play. It was beautiful sound. Her bouquet was singing seemingly. It was almost like magic, but no magic happened in the air. Mint's hair. Her future husband was standing there. He was in his wedding kimono and was handsome but devilish at the same time. "You look beautiful, Mint," he said. Nu lowered her head. "Thank you." She tried not to look disgusted. The rabbi said, "Now we must begin the wedding." So they began the wedding. To Song of A Whole New World by Alvin. Mr. Uzumaki sang,
I can give you the world in all its shining splendor. Tell me, my pride, that when did you last let your heart decide? I can give you a life, protect you, little brother. This with me now, be with me, and you will be my bride. A whole new life, protecting you with what it'll do. No one to make you work, and not a jerk, or say you're only dreaming. A whole new life. It'll be something you've never guessed. But when I'm with you, it's clear and true that now we've begun my new life with you. Now I'm in a whole new world with you.
It's my unbelievable luck. Really uncertain about why this year was fire and my people were working to just get by.
Uzumaki sang,
A whole new world as you look me in the eye.
He says,
I have no choice in the matter at all, do I?
Uzu colon,
Kiss me now, it'll get better.
Nu colon,
I've done so far, I've come so far, I can't go back to where I used am to be.
Uzumaki sang, colon,
A whole new life, every moment a surprise, with new things to me and you. Every moment gets better. Killed Mr. Mustache here. Time's despair. Let me share my color-do life with you.
Uzu colon,
A whole new world.
Nu colon,
That's where we'll be.
Uzumaki colon,
A thrilling haze.
Nu colon,
As wondrous place
and both sang colon,
For me and you.
and stopped singing. I love Albadin. Rabbi said, I now pronounce you husband-wife. But suddenly door opened, and policeman came incessantly angry and loud. Everyone gasped and was shocked. What is meaning of this? Demanded Uzumaki. You are under arrest, said police. My arrest am arrested, said Uzumaki, he growled. I demand you to tell me what I've done. Then Mr. Policeman showed everyone Mr. Mustache's dead body. He killed Lord Khan! Everyone screamed. No, it's not true, said Lulu Uzumaki. It is not true. It is lie, a set-up. He clasped Nu's hand. You must believe me, wife. She looked at him shocked and stepped away, scared, and gasped. I am not wife. She felt tears begin. You ruined what I had there now. I never see Haku again and no job. This is all your fault! And she ran away crying while Lord Uzumaki was arrested. How did you know it was me? Said Lord Uzumaki. I told thee, said Lady Mystery, who had overheard. Everyone gasped at Lady Mystery's mystery. How did you find out? Said Lord Uzumaki. You left your tea, said Lady Mystery. I know that you had the same tea as me that night, and it was a mystery tea. Also your hair and fingerprints, and you left your gun that had your name on it there. Damn it, said Uzumaki. Everyone gasped because of the curse. Nu had slipped away. She took off her wedding dross and put on servant clothes and went to got her brother. She was not staying in this bulldoing. She got her brother piggyback because he was too sick to move. Come on, little brother, she whispered. Okay, said little brother. I will get us new life and job to help us so we can live together, said Nu as she left. They were on the streets walking. Nu only had small pouch of money, but while she was on streets, Mugger came and took money, so she had no money. Salt followed too. She tried to get job, but no one hired in war. It had been a week since Nu's fiasco wedding. Her bro and her ewer starve a lot, but what could she do and could not get food except for garbage. But Nu stole Mint's store. She did not like to steal, but her brother was sick and dying from hunger. Also, he could not the smoke from the fire was only killing him, and she knew it. He could hard to speak any more. What is this, sister? He said. It's mint try to eat, said Nu. Litki Briother closed eyes. I do not like mint, he said weakly. Nu wanted to cry. It's a cheeseburger, just eat it, and pushed it into his mouth. Little brother ate it slowly. Who did not have mints for herself, as she gave them all to her little Briother, who ate them slowly. She and little brother lived and out near country next to river. So he built a hut fought brother out of a tarp and some ticks. Every day her brother would stay there and lay down covered in one blanket she found in garden. Every day she'd go out look for food and job, but only found 3 mints. After weeks, her brother was so thin she came back with mints and an apple she found on the ground. Sister Mint, said brother. She walked to him. Yes, I have your mint, said Nu. Nu leaned and propped brother's head in her lap. She pressed mint against his lip, and he chewed very, very slowly. Yes, it's our favorite. It's your mint. He stopped chewing. Nu reached to put another in his mouth, but he would not move. Come on, she said. You need to eat it. You need it to get better. But her brother didn't move. A sudden scary idea crossed her mind, and she stiffened and tears came to her eyes. Eat it, she shouted. Come on, you need to eat. She stopped when realization sunk in, and she sobbed and leaned over and shook him. Brother Tio, wake up. No, don't do thus to me now, she said, sobbing. You are okay. You be okay. I taked care of you. I promised. I promised. But it was too late. Little brother named Tio was dead. Mint buried her brother the next evening and left the city to not come back. But she couldn't stay there. Se was starving and survived the night off of boiled grass. She knew she could not stay in the city because they were looking for her. They thought she was in cahoots with Uzumaki for the murder of Mr. Mustache. She did not care. She had lost the last person in the world she cared about. She walked and walked for days, and Night Dog was with her. They survived off the land, and eventually her feet blistered. Nu had to throw her shoes away and walk barefoot because of blister and broken shoe. When she had broken shoes, she looked at them and screamed and threw them into a field. She walked until with dog. They got to a wharf. At the docks there was a big ship. Nu went up to Sailor, who was moving buckets. "What this here?" she asked the sailor. "People leaving because of war on ship go to new places and start a new life," said Pirate. He grinned and had golden teeth. Nu liked that idea. "She say on box I on the dock and pet the dog. We cold do a new life, Salt," said Nu to Salt. "This war has destroyed everything. I feel well, have nowhere to go." So in the middle of the night before boat left, Nu and Dog snuck on board and hid in cargo. Nu had detailed some orangers before going on boat. Dog had to be quiet, but it was easy because Dog has no tongue. She had starved and eaten it. "Arf, arf," said Dog. Nu put her finger on her lip. "Shh, Dog, be quiet. We have to be quiet." "Okay," said Dog, and she gave the dog some orange to eat and ate orange. The ship sailed through the ocean for a long time. Nu felt sick and never wanted to know where he boat was going from curiosity. But she could not venture above deck or they would know that she was not knowing there in thee. She had to survive off the oranges for 4 months while the ship sailed. She also snuck used stairs sometimes to steal hardpack, which is what sailor bread is called. It is hard and flat like Jewish bread, but nasty. One day she was looking out the porthole and saw the storm raging out against the ocean. Another day she sat on a crate and counted the ship snails. "Today is the last," she overheard. Dog was sailor man and said, "We are going to make fort soon. It is good time. Don't you agree?" "Yes," said other sailor. "We will be in America soon." Nu gasped. America? That was where she was going? No bad thing for war from America. Dog barked and agreed. The ship hit the dock and they docked. It was a clear day and the seagulls were gulling by the sea. Nu snuck off the ship and was shocked to see crowd. In distance she saw a big green statue. It was the Statue of Liberty. Nu remembered from history class and knew she was in New York. She wandered down the dock into the cities and saw the paper boy and took the paper without paying. She didn't know hay needed to be paid for 'cause news is free in Vietnam. "Hey," said the paper boy. Nu managed. Later, Nu was in an alley. And she was cold and Dog was hungry and she was hungry Dog. Nu said, should look for job." Dog clapped because that was a good idea. Nu went to a small shop and asked for a job, but no one hired in war in America either. Nu bumped into a man on the street that was in a cloud on Times Square. He was tall and wearing a trench coat and had dark hair and a page boy hat. "Hey, kiddo," said the stranger. "You looking to buy something?" Nu shook her head. "I have no money." "Ah, where are your parents?" he asked, and Nu said, "They are all dead because of America." "Is it the war?" he asked her, and she said yes. "Well, who needs 'em anyway? Come with me, kid, I can help you," he said. Nu thought better for a minute, but then decided she had to make this decision. As she had nowhere to go, so she said, "What kind of work?" And he said, "You will be a businessman. I have stuff you need to help me sell, and I will give you a cut of the profits. It's not a lot of money, but I will give you a free place to stay and food to want." "Okay," said Nu. "What's your name?" the drug dealer said. Big D." "What is your name?" he asked. Nu stopped for a moment and thought of her brother and said, "Mint. My name is Mint." "Okay, Mint," said Big D, the drug dealer, and he took Mint to his apartment. Mint was set up with Dog. She did not have to do much but count monies and organize and clean the house. She liked living with Big D even though he did bad things. He was good and courteous to her. In December, Dog gave birth. It was 4 puppies. Mint had to sell them because Big D does not like too many animals in his house, but she kept. When Mint went down to alley to breathe, she got up in apartment. She was sitting on the bed when her cell phone rang. She wasn't supposed to use the phone unless emergencies. It was only for Big D to keep in contact with her. She picked it up, and it was Big T, and he said, "I need you to bring some stuff down to the alley." "Where alley?" said Mint New, and he said, "Far the railroad tracks," and New said, "What do you need me to bring?" "The drugs that I keep eye on the cabinets by the refrigerator," he replied. "Okay," said Mint, "I will be there soon." So New traveled across the city to go to where Big D was, but Mint got there it was a while. Big D was selling drugs. "Glad you could join me," said him, and Mint nodded. "Here are your things," she said, and handed him a box of things that were his. "Thanks, baby doll," said Big D. "You're welcome," said Mint, and she smiled, happy to help. Maybe life was looking up, and it was looking up. "How does this work?" asked Mint, not knowing how does this work. Sung by 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚕𝚒 from Reiko the Generic Opera. Customers scream,
"I can feel nothing at all."
Big D.
"Drug market? This come arcade? Sometimes I sell it all to the drug market, blood market. Sometimes I wonder why they buy them at all."
Big D colon.
"Cocaine comes in a little glass vial.
A little glass vial.
Big D colon.
A little glass vial, and the little glass vial goes into your skin with a needle. And the cocaine gun goes somewhere into your anatomy. And when the white gun goes up, shot, and you're ready for more."
Random woman walk up and look like whore, saying,
"Drug dealer, drug dealer. Sometimes I wonder with potato peeler.
LOL, what rhymes with dealer?
Drug dealer, drug dealer. Sometimes I wonder why I need you at
Drug
all."
dealer colon.
"And this woman is addicted to my drugs.
Mint colon.
Addicted to your drugs.
People colon.
Addicted to his drugs.
Big D colon.
And as such, I give them all my drugs completely. When they pay, I will be ready for surgery."
They stop. Mint said, "Surgery what for?" He said, "I need a heart transplant." "Oh," said New. "Why?" he sang.
"Your contract has some mighty fine print.
Mint colon.
It's a mighty fine print.
People quotation mark.
Fighting my
Big D colon.
And a mighty fine print puts you in a brand new predicament.
People.
If
Big D colon.
you decide to quit and then go and split, the other drug dealer so will it. Then they'll come and get art, and I won't get my surgery. Surgery, 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 surgery."
Then Mint said, "What do you mean?" Drug dealer says, "It means I need to protect you from the other bad men who to use you." New blushed and said thank you, so they left the drug person and went back to the apartment. They were watching TV movies like Space Jam on the TV and had dinner together with popcorn. It was poor, but they were doing okay, and New Mint was comfortable. When she sat on the couch with drug dealer, he put his arm around her and she felt safe. So Mint thought she was in a good place now, maybe things would pick up. One day, drug dealer and Mint were talking, and Mint said, "What is your real name, Big D?" And Big D grinned and said, "I will tell you one day, but not today." "Well, why can't you tell me now?" Mint frowned and pouted. "You look cute when you're angry," he said, and he leaned forward suddenly and he kissed her. Mint looked shocked, and Biff D looked a little shocked by himself too, and said, "I'm sorry," but Mint said, "No, it's okay." She put his hand on his hand to hold his hand, and she blushed and smiled shyly, and she said, "You make me happy. I have not been happy in a long time," she said. Big D took care of Mint even though he did bad things sometime. If C was sick, he would bring her things to make her feel better, and he gave her place to live and always treated her kindly. Sometimes he would go out of his way to buy her little things like flowers and hoslin. He was a little cold and standoffish because of his nature, but Mint knew he meant well. Mint was sitting in the apartment. She was painting a picture with the oil and canvas Big D had bought her. She thought tea was soothing and had painted several pics to decorate the apartment. She had been eating well the past few weeks and her ribs no longer poked out. She was happy and content, and it was true. Dog was sitting beside on the carpet with other dog. She showed Dog her painting. It was a picture of the Ragamung Ocean and fire in the ocean and ships because ships at war, but she didn't want Big D to see because he might feel sorry. He did not know where she had come from or all she had been through, but it okay. She did not know much about his past either. They accepted each other for what they were. New got set paintings behind couch to dry. She opened the balcony door to let the air in. It was Seuni day and decided to start making dinner for when Big D got home. She prepared a traditional Korean meal. She got out the skillet and made spaghetti. Her sundress was like blue and had tiny birds on it and flowers. The door burst open suddenly and Big D was clutching his hand to his chest. There was blood. Mint dropped spaghetti from hands and gasped. She ran to him as he fell to ground, but she caught him with her heads. "What's happened? Oh God," she said. He coughed and blood came out. It hit her. "No, not again," she said. Not another death of someone she cared about. Big D coughed and said, "I'm okay, but I was with client, and he got mad, and they stabbed and—" Mint was speechless. Big D said quickly, "Quick, don't just sit there. Go get the medical kit." Mint dragged Big D to the couch and ran off to get the first aid kit. Big D was delirious and very quiet. Mint did her best to patch him up. It was not as big as it looked. He would recover. It did not hit any important artsies. When he got better, he held her hand and said, "Thank you for sewing me up. What would I do without you?" Mint smiled but was crying. "Don't scare me like that," she said. "You stay here, relax, and I'll go get food." "I want spaghetti," said Big D. So she got the spaghetti and put on the spaghetti to give to him. He ate it at one bite and sat up feeling better. New said, "You need to relax and not work for a few days." "Why did you open the curtains?" he asked. "I like balcony air. It's good," she said. "It's dangerous." "It'll be okay," she said. "Okay," said Big D. She took the dishes by the kitchen, and Big D looked into the couch and saw Mint's painting. He smiled when he saw it. It looked really good but was sad. Minute walked over. "Oh no, what are you looking at? Stop." She sat by him and tried to grab, but he pulled it out of the way. "Oh no, I got blood on it," said Big D. Mint was quiet and awkward until Mint sighed. Lee put finger on blood painting and moved it to shape heart. Big D frowned. "I'm sorry," he said. "It's okay," said Mint : "It looks better this way." The heart was in between the warring ships. She Big D picked it up and the painting on the wall. "You're talented," he told her. Mint felt proud, and she knew then that was when that she know she loved him. Mint was lying on the floor. She had hung paper lanterns and paper cranes around the ceiling. They pooper cranes for blue and red and green and pink and yellow and all the other colors. She smiled because they reminded he of when she was a kid and picked flowers for Mom. "You need to arrange like this," said Flashback. "Little brother used to help with this," said Sister Mint. Big D came down and sat down beside her. "Mint, I feel much better," he said. "It has been a few days since the accident with the stabbing." Mint sat up and looked at him. "Are you sure?" She was worried and put ham on his leg. He checkered and put lip giggled and pet her hair. "Mint, we should do something. You've been cooped up and me too." "But me am fine here," said Minto. "It's good to get out," Dee said to her. She listened and said fine and went with him. King D and Minto left. She wore cute dress that was a sundress and it was yellow. He wore a snappy snoot with a vest, but it is more casual. His hair was brushed back nearly. Minto thought he was very handsome. They went to a shady-looking pub bar with poetry. It was dark. There were candles everywhere to light the gloom. Minto was nervoed, so she clung to Otachi. "What is wrong?" asked the drug dealer. "Oh, nothing," she said as she clung to his arm more. "This is unfamiliar place," she whispered. "That's Al." "Don't worry, it'll protect everything," Big D said. Minto smiled and said, "Thank you." The dog barked, and Baby Dog was on its back, and the man who ran he was the bouncer said, "That dog cannot be in here," so they tied the dog up to the bouncer outside. Minto said, "Okay, let's go inside," and they went inside. Inside it was dark and had candles. Trey got to their table, and the waiter gave them their menu, but Mr. D said, "No, we will have the original, the usual." "And she will too." "Okay, yes, man," said the waiter man. He scurried off to the kick-hen place to make food. Minto's was nervous from area, but said was nice to be with him, and said, "Thank you for taking me here. I like to get out," Minto said. "You're welcome," said Mint. "But I'm worried about the dog," said Karina. "He'll be okay," said Drug D. Mint drank her drink and ate slowly when food came to her. She enjoyed food because it was rare and delicious like chocolate. After a while, Big D said, "Why are you so quiet?" Mint said, "I really wish you would tell me your name." Dr. D was quiet for a moment. Finally, he said, "Okay, I will tell you my name." And he leaned forward to whisper in her eye. He said, "My name is Mickey," Mickey D said. Mint smiled. "That's a nice name. My real name is New." "Okay," said Mickey Drug Dealer. They had a lovely night and eventually went back to apartment and they cuddled. And they had a good life together for a few months. Mint was outside. She had done laundry and was putting to dry on dry line. She was humming to herself and was happy. It was her birthday. The doorbell rang and she went to get it. Open door package came for her. "It must be for my birthday," said New. She opened the letter and it said to tell her that she gasped and said, "Oh no," because the letter was about this, : "People in Vietnam knew she had fled and were looking for her for the death of Lady Mystery's friend. It was all her Uzumaki's fault." She wanted to cry. Why couldn't they just leave her alone? She was happy now. "They're going to come get me," she cried and whimpered and hugged Dog. Dog had her back. She was very upset and was quiet and cleaned the house and sat down for the day. When the door opened, Drug Dealer came in. It was Mauve-Key. "Hi, babe, what's wrong?" said Mick. He went over, kissed her cheek, and gave her a flower. She decided not to tell him about the problems. She smiled and said, "Nothing, thank you." For her birthday, G brought her a new dress. And New felt loved and happy. "You want to come with me to this thing?" he asked. "What thing?" Mint asked. "It's a underground dealing." "Sounds dangerous," said Mint, and it's what she thought. She frowned and out her fingers together. Her eyebrows were curled with frustration. Mickey put his arm around her and said, "It will be okay." "How okay?" Mint asked. "A-okay," said Drug Dealer. The gay laughed. New Mint said, "Okay, I will go with you," and they went. They were the underground subway. It was dark and grimy. "Crazy man talked to chicken there, lol. This my chicken." Mint was scared from dark and held hand. "I need to muster courage," she said, but she did. They felt a little better. Drug Dealer went off to speak to other drug dealers. Mint tried to stay close. Sung to Bad Romance by Lady Gaga and S&M by Rihanna. Mint sang,
Caught in a bad romance. On in a beady romance. Ra ra ra, roma roma ma, do do ooh la la. What out bad romance? Ra ra ra, roma roma ma, do do ooh la la. What out bad romance? I want your lovin', I want your disease. I want everything as long as it is free. I want to do your love. Love, 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 I want that your love. I want to heal you, to take all your pain. I know I wanted this as you told it me your name. I want no love. Love, 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 don't want your love. You know that I want you, but I don't need you. I want it in best, bad, bad romance. I want your love and I won't get revenge. You and me could write bad romance. I want no love for your revenge to be with you could write bad mans. Ra ra ha ha ha, Roma Roma ma, do do ooh la la. Want out bad romance. I want no horror or your desire. It's 'cause you're a criminal on the streets. I want your love, but it's no good for me, love. You are a psycho, you virtual stick. Want you out my window, baby, you're sick. You sell your drugs. Drugs, 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 you sell your drugs. You know that I want you, but I do not need you. Because why I am bad in romance. I want your love and I want heart condition. You and me could write bad romance. I want your love and I don't want your drugs. You and me could write bad romance.
Then drug dealer sang,
'Cause I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good. I stick drugs in the air. I love the smell of them. License and guns may break my bones, but drugs and stuff will side me.
Mint said, time to go, so they went. They spent good timer beside the apartment. Until Mint said, drug dealer, I don't think you should sell rugs anymore. Drug dealer did drugs sometimes and said, what, why? This is how I do stuff. Mint frowned. I'm worried about you. You shouldn't do drugs. But it was too late because drug dealer was currently on a drug. It was probably cocaine. He put his arm around Mint and said, it's okay, everything is okay. But he was on drugs, so he acted weird, but Mint was used to it. He was nice a lot and kind and good, but he did drugs a lot and it made her upset. Maybe it not good. Later Mint made hot 𝚜𝚎𝚒𝚘𝚎 and they watched television. It was a good night for they went to bed. Mint knew that her life he wanted to spend the rest of her life with Mickey. She knew it when she sat on the room and it was calming. Good felling. In fast, she felt so good she wanted to be with him forever, and woohoo spurred into his ear one night while she slept. She said, I love you, Mickey, and she wished she could say it when he awake. She had to be a secret. She was 2 and didn't know about love. Were her parents in love? They never taught her. She loved them and she loved her brother, but this was different. She loved Dog too, but she loved Mickey with a deeper a love of romance. So she stole away into the night and went to look at the city so she could think about her love. It was a night. And she was hot, so she brought a water bottle. Salt was there too. She gave 𝚘𝚒 a water bottle too, so he would drink to it. Don't forget the soap, baby. She sat and thought of things. Meanwhile, later on, she went home to where Mickey was. Where were you? Her asked her. I was out thinking, she say to him back. Oh, okay, hen, said Mickey. Want to watch TV with me? There's new show called Family Guy that came out today. Okay, let's watch that, said Mint, and they had a lot of laugh at the show. When the show was done, the two had cuddle on the couch, and Mint made scrambled eggs, which they enjoyed eating together. Mint and Mickey D laid together in the grass field hand in hand. It was happy and peaceful moment, and now Mint knew that things would be okay. I love you, Mickey, she said, and felt a tear of happiness come to her eye. I love you too, said Mint. She finally had courage to tell him and was happy to hear it back. Do you think we can stay like this forever and war will be over? Asked Mint. Yes, said McG. And I can finally afford my surgery, so there is nothing to stopping us now. Mint cried. Really? It's true, and you can now? She was excited. Sung to Magnet by Vocaloid. Mint sang.
Deep within my heart, I feel like I really and then want you. And that is my true, and you are my one and only true love. I could lay here with you forever with my Mickey, love you. And we hug me with love, and it's all very nice.
Both sang.
I want to be with you until the end of time.
Mickey sang.
Even though it could be a tough time.
Both sang.
But we know we love each other to the end of all our lives. And that is what is right.
And then both sang as hugging.
I wanna hug you to the skis. I wanna fall onto your knees and to give you my kiss that is for you. And only you, pretty so inside. With my love is deep and so that I'm wondering if God will be nice to me for thee all the time.
Then Mickey sang.
It is what I must do with my life. This love with you under me is my only desire to you. Someday we will get married with no one to stand in your way.
Both sang.
I want to be with you until the end of time. Our love is like a magnet.
Both cool.
Right back with you until the day we die. But hopefully that is not anytime soon.
And then this is where Oliver ran out of space to type the darn thing, so the rest of this is in the description. And then both sang as hugging.
I wanna hug you to the skis. I wanna fall onto your knees and to give you my kiss that is for you. And only you, pretty so inside. With my love is deep and so that I wonder if God will be nice to me for thee all the time.
Miku gang. Cool.
I escaped from Vietnam only to find that I love you, Mickey, with all my being. You say you love me too, and I am happy to have your love. It is the best. Oh.
And then both sang as hugging.
I wanna hug you to the skis. I wanna fall onto your knees and to give you my kiss that is for you. And only you, pretty so inside. With my love is deep and so that I wonder if God will be nice to me for thee all the time. And we are together. It will just get better. And he will stop selling your drugs on the streets. And then we will be married. It is my dream to be loving with you. With thee I am happy with you by my side.
After they sang, it was 𝚘𝚒𝚒𝚘𝚒𝚑, time in the field. They had their picnic, and it was good. But Mikey wasn't looking so good. What's wrong? Is it bad tasting? I am sorry, Mint sad. No, it's not that, said Mickey. His chest was still hurt from the weak stab weeks ago. He started to bleeding. OMG, what's going on? Screamed Mint. It must be my heart conditioner, said Mickey, clutching his chest. We will take you to doctor. There is no time, Mint, said Mickey, but here is my present for you, Mint. He got on a knee and put a ring on her ring. Will you marry me, Mint? Mint cried both happy and sad tears. Yes, Mickey, I will, but you must make aught through this. I am trying, Mint, said Mickey. He gave her a kiss. But I don't think I have time because we can't get your surgery. Oh no, said Minty. But we need to have a big wedding and live happily ever after, Mickey. She was cried hard into his chest, and his blood got on her face. Mint, I love you, he said to New. I love you too, said Mint. And she held Mickey's chest in her chest and head in her lap as he slowly fell asleep, and then died after an hour. Mickey thought, I'm just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. Salt was sad and whimpered as Mint cried. You are all I have left, Salt and Dog, she said to Salt and the puppy on Salt's tail. I will name you Mickey, she said to Puppy. They all cried over Mickey's drug dealer body, and the cocaine wasn't helping, she's sure of. She took Mickey drug dealer to the ground to bury him in the ground and dug him all day until the ground had a big hole, and she put him inside the big hole, and it was where he was to lay forever with a tombstone on top. Mint cried sadly and didn't know what to do. Why did everyone always have to die? She sat at grave for days with dogs, and Mom Dog was feeding Puppy Mickey with milk, but was slowly running low on energy. What is wrong? Mint asked Salt. I am dying, said Salt with eyes. Not you too, Mint cried more. What can I do to help? Salt looked at Mickey and barked. She wanted Mint to take care of Mickey, and Mickey will be with you forever, Mint. Okay, I will do that for you, Salt, said Mint. She held Mickey and Salt in her lap, and Salt died. She buried Salt in Mickey's grave. Please don't leave me too, Mikey, Mint said to the small puppy. Puppy was sad about Salt, but nodded to Mint and barked and licked her face. You are a good dog, Mint said, and they walked down the empty road. It was empty and no one was there. It was late at night. Mint walked over to a strange place and needed to find a place to sleep. It was dark, and she couldn't see where she was going, so she found a door to a room with chairs and narrow and decided to sleep in there when no one was looking, and she slept there for a long time. When she woke up, it was daytime, and the room felt shaky. What's going on? She asked Mickey. Mickey was looking out the window, so Mint looked too and gasped. Oh my gosh, we are in the sky, she said as she looked out to the beautiful clouds. She didn't know that she had got on an airplane. Where is it taking us? She asked. When she looked out the window, she looked down on the ground was her home village of Vietnam. She didn't want to go there, but lucky for her they kept flying until they were past Vietnam. They flew over China, and she took in all the sights and smell. After they came to a new area she didn't recognize. It was Japan, Tokyo. When the plane landed, the pilot yelled, Hey, who are you? What are you doing on here? And Mint ran off with Mickey on her shoulder. The man tried to catch her, but was old, so he couldn't, so he gave up. Mint looked around. She had never been to Japan before. It was high-tech, and everything was warm and Japanese. She looked at a food stand, and it had octopus balls, so she tried a sample. This is delicious, she said, and gave a sample to Mickey. You can have them for free. They are the leftovers of today, said the cook. Really? Mint said, smiling. You mean it? Yes, said the manager. Mint said thank you so much and walked off with Mickey. They sat down and had the octopus balls. She could tell the people in this country was nice. She read the sign that said she was in Tokyo, Japan. This sounds like a wonderful place, she said as they ate. A dreamland. A wonderland. Arf, said Mickey, gobbling dog food. The Japan reminded her of Lady Mystery. shroud in mystery. She lived in Japan for a few weeks and learned the language and did well. She worked part-time for Octopus Man selling his balls. She was working hard and starting to get better when she saw Fortune Teller Lady. Fortune Lady said, "Come in here, my child," and something seemed familiar about her Fortune Teller Lady, but she could not put her finger on it. Then Mickey said, "Arf," and Mint said, "Why fors can I help you?" The Fortune Teller Lady said, "Let me tell your fortune, lady." Mint laughed and said, "I have no money, am sorry." And Fortune Teller Lady said, "You have ominous future. It is free for dent to see." So Mint agreed and sat down with Fortune Lady to fortune her. The Fortune Lady gave Mint a small blue pendant and said, "Make a wish on this and it will come true." "Any wish at all?" asked Mint. "Yes," sighed Fortune Lady, but said, "Be warned, you will have important responsibility in future." "I already have to take care of many things in my life," said Mint. "Okay." She stepped out of the Fortune Lady and picked up her dog and said, "I wish I could just go to a time without war," and she tossed He Jewel on the ground. It broke, and Mint shocked for what saw she was glitter. It enveloped her and she glued it, and it was for time sparkles diamonds everywhere. She saw many things. It was for past time, and then she was in the future. "Oh my God," said Mint, "I am in the future." She walked to a person, said, "What day is it?" And the man in weird clothing said, "It is 2011. "Oh my God, it is true," said Mickey, and Mint barked at her. So Mint just needed to, but the Fortune Lady was no longer there because it was the future. Mint went to place to find work and worked at Ballet Academy. She learned to dance in spare time, but mostly she cleaned. On day 2, people with good clothes came in and saw her dancing practice by themselves. "Are you a student?" asked the lady. "No, I'm an orphan. I can't afford to study here. I get money," said Mint. So the parents decided to adopt Mint. So she went to live with a wealthy family in modern Tokyo. She lived there for good times and happy, and she was appreciative of all she had for the things she lost in the past. What would things hold for her in the future? She did not know because she had to work, but one thing was for sure. Mint was on top of the world. She felt like ecstatic happy and could sing too from her tower of her room that she was going to sing. And from that moment, Mint knew that she was truly for the first time in her life on top of the world. "The world is mine," said Mint. The end. And then the actual chapter's description. Magical thingamaboobles. "Sorry it would not fit, so I put some in the description. LOL, this took me 4 whole days. Smiley face, smiley face. Mint's brother is named Tio, LOL. BTW, new means mint, and Tio is pepper, and the dog is slat, LOL, smiley face. It's what I learned from Google Translate. I know this one is long, but it's really good, IMO, so I hope you like it. Carrot, carrot. I didn't intend for it to be musical at first, but I decided to because I thought that would be fun to try, LOL, and I'm not doing this again. It was hard, but I guess I'm proud of the results. I can comment.